Hello everyone, and now welcome to Game 4 in the series between Gamania Sen and Azubu's San here on Belshir Vestige. I believe this is Belshir Vestige. Anyways, over here on the bottom right hand side of the map, we have Sen spawning as the red Zerg. On the top left, we do have San spawning as the blue Protoss. San versus Sen, as my mouse decides to go crazy on me. Now, Protoss versus Zerg once more, and what can we really expect to see from these players? The openings have been a wide variation, but it looks as though San is just going to be opening up with that Forge Fast expansion again. Opening up, trying to get that economic game going. Meanwhile, Sen looks like he is going to be going for either a a spawning pool or a hatchery first. Don't know where my mind is. Spawning pool or a hatchery first, as the game is going to be getting underway. Now, the probe is just going to be coming up the ramp here. He wants to take a look around, and he wants to see the timing on the hatchery. I can bet you $100 that a hatchery will be built, but I don't know exactly when Sen will want to do it. Either the San doesn't know when that hatchery is going to be placed down either, and he wants to see when the spawning pool is going to be placed down. So far, the probe makes its way over, trying to do a little bit of disruptive mining, but during that time, Sen was able to sneak out a drone, and it will be a hatchery first opening. Meanwhile, the probe is off over here, and the Overlord is doing what is absolutely necessary. Many times I see there is no Overlord coverage at the natural expansion, and then players are able to hide photon cannons in the back here, making it extremely difficult to take them down. You can see that the probe is still wandering around back over here. We may see, it is going to be pylons, and Sen does spot this. Alright, so Sen does spot this, and Overlord is now making its way back over. You can see that it is a Forge first, as a drone or two is now making its way over. There is the pylon block there, and we could see one more pylon coming in. Oh, where's that photon cannon? That drone is now trying to just push away that probe, as a probe is coming in to zap in as well. There's double photon cannons here, and this is potentially going to get nasty. Sen may be forced to cancel this hatchery, but he does have the ability to build a third hatchery or a hatchery here instead. So he could cancel this and really just make his opponent lose a lot of resources for nothing. Alright, the timing on this hatchery is that it will be canceled. There it goes. We should see these two photon cannons getting canceled as well. Nope, it is only going to be one photon cannon being canceled, as that is a bit of a smart move, as we are now looking at a fourth base being pylon blocked. Very, very interesting. Meanwhile, the Overlord is overhead here at that natural expansion. The front door is completely wide open, as the Overlords are still doing a bit of scouting here. The drones now making their way over is going to go ahead and take that down, and it will be a third base at the fourth base location. Sen being extremely aggressive with his hatcheries, and I don't know if this will pay off. What we can see, though, is that San knows that this is going to be turning into a very heavy economic game. This Nexus was extremely delayed because of the photon cannons and the pylons here. And because of that, Sen is actually hoping that he has enough time to start mining off of these additional bases. The problem will be the walking distances between these bases. The Queen is going to take quite a long time trying to get to this third base location, or the second base, and even more for this third base. You can see that a Queen is already being transferred and will be making their way off to the top left. Zerglings now backing off here. The front door has pretty much been sealed. And as long as Sen can handle the harassment, he's going to have a huge economic advantage, as he will be running off of 3 hatcheries. Where is that Queen? The Queen is now making its way off over here. The timing should be just right. Actually, no, the Queen will be a little bit late to the party, as we are going to be seeing this Queen be trained up here in just a moment. Now hit that inject, get a whole bunch of drones going, as we now see some Zealots on the field. One Zealot on the field, no Warp Gate tech as of yet. This Zealot is going to be playing defensive. And when will San actually build an all-important third building? It looks as though he is looking to place down a Nexus as well. The probe, however, did scout it out, and this Zergling is here delaying this Nexus, but this is all he really wants to do. He wants to know the timing on this, and the Zergling should actually be backing away, should not engage. There it goes. It finally does get taken down, as we do see this probe now making its way over here. The probe is going to scout out this top left-hand side. An Overlord should position itself here on the high ground to see past the brush, as we do see a Queen come in as well. Creep Tumor now making its way over. Creep is going to start to spread up onto that high ground. We can still see these extra photon cannons and pylons doing absolutely nothing, and at some point Sen should try and clean this up, as it will force his opponent to be supply blocked at least for a little bit of time. Zerglings now making their way over here to that third base. Are they going to catch anything of importance? The Zerglings are now there. Are they going to catch the probe? No. They do see that a pylon is there once again, and the Zerglings are just going to be holding position once the Overlord is now out. Harvester count 48 to 42. No big surprises, as we do realize that Sen is going to be going very heavy into drones, but we do now need to see a lot more Spore Crawlers. Void Rays are being trained, or one Void Ray in addition to a Phoenix. That Overlord will go pop. There it goes, 69 over 78 on supply, as the Zerglings are now in a bit of retreat. Zealot now going to try to come over and engage. You can see that the Queen is there already. Going to play a game of darts with that Zealot there. We can see some drones already being added as well. This is not good. The Queen should not be engaging in a fight like this, as the Zerglings are now coming back around, and this could potentially be big, as the Zealot is not going to be able to really survive that battle. Nope, the Queen does stay alive, but Sen does end up losing 2 Overlords, as the Phoenixes are around the map. We can see that I don't believe there are any Spore Crawlers in this location here. No, this is completely wide open for some Phoenix harassment. San 1 Queen in this position, but we are teching the tier 2. Meanwhile, the Zerglings are going to come in for a quick surround, take down this Photon Cannon. The Photon Cannon does have a number of kills. I believe it was 4 or 5 kills, but an easy, good trade there, as the Zerglings going to clean up these proxy pylons. 78 over 86 now. This next pylon will make him supply block, so that is going to hurt him tremendously. All of these gateways without enough supply means that he's not going to really be able to warp in anything for quite some time, and this may actually do San in a bit. He's now warping in 2 pylons, but he's losing a lot of build time on these warp gates for his army, and he's now going to start to perhaps bank a little bit more gas when he really should be spending them on sentries. There is one mothership core hiding off over here, taking out a couple of key units there, as the sentries are all in position. The Void Rays going to be pushing all those units back, and it looks like this is going to be the economic game that I was looking for. 4-base Zerg compared to a 3-base Protoss. The problem will be trying to saturate this base. All he can really hope to do is get the additional gas. Otherwise, he's going to get too close to that 200 supply maximum, and his army is not going to be able to exchange very well at all. Just because you have more workers, it doesn't mean that you can win out in the fights. Even if you can replace all of your workers, a handful of Zealots can take down an infinite number of Zerglings if they are just coming in a single file line spaced apart. All right, there we go. The probes, the Phoenix now pulling back here. You can see that the Void Ray Sentry, Mothership Core, all deciding to withdraw as well. They don't like what they see, but the income is still surprisingly even. It's actually dead even right now, and that does make me scratch my head. Okay, drones just now got transferred here. We should start to see a bit of an economic advantage for the Zerg. 82 harvesters compared to 68. You can see about 100 extra gas for the Zerg, about 400 extra minerals, for a total of 500 every minute, as we are now looking into an engagement with Void Rays, Void Rays, Zealots, Sentries. Hallucinated Phoenixes now walking around the map, as we do see Roaches and Queens. That is a large number of Queens. 10 Queens, 14 Roaches. I don't know if that's actually enough to fight off this attack here. It will really come down to home field advantage and positioning, as the Queens now need to lay down a whole bunch of creep tumors. Wow. A very, very low hit point Phoenix is able to escape just on the outskirts. No, that Queen may actually get the dart off in time. And, oh, yes, there it goes. And because the missile is not instantaneous, that was actually beneficial to the Queen, as it was able to start the animation and launch that second attack before the Phoenix started to move. Roaches, Zerglings now backing off once more. Alright, Zealot's going to be doing a drop inside the main. Spore Crawlers are coming into position here. We are adding in a Spine Crawler as well. Queen is off over here as well. Let's take a look at this. This one Warp Prism going to be trying to drop off the kids, and the Zealots are in position. The drones now going to be torn apart there, as that is not a good sign whatsoever. More units now reinforcing. All the Zerglings are going to try and take down this base off over here before it gets up. Zealots are now challenging the main, as we now see a major engagement here at the 9. So 9 o'clock position, the starting locations, 3 o'clock positions, all being attacked. Reinforcements still coming in. One Spore Crawler or Spine Crawler trying to fight back a sea of Zealots, only to get taken down there, as the Roaches are trying to use a bit of movement speed advantage, but the Zealots do have charge and will quickly come in on their target very, very easily. Level 1 weapons upgrade has now, or level 2 weapons upgrade has been cancelled as the evolution chamber goes down. Roaches are not turning around for some reason to attack. It looks as though all the Zealots will get cleaned up, as the 3 o'clock location is going to be rebuilt. Zerglings now making their way inside this base here, trying to take down a couple of key probes. Photon cannons, however, going to finish them all off, as we are now sitting at 4 bases to 3. The Spore Crawler was unable to root, as it is now trying to root itself. It is not going to get there in time, but the Ultralists are all there, and everyone does jump on up. Nexus, Void Race, Colossus, Ultralists, just missing a couple of Vipers. We are looking to go into Broodlords with double Spire for weapons and armor upgrades. I do see a fleet beacon, meaning we could be seeing Tempest and perhaps even carriers, and this could turn into another Sky Toss versus Air Zerg game. Sky Toss versus Air Zerg. We now see the Warp Prism making its way in again. There is a Spore Crawler right there. We are warping in more units. Ultralist is there to meet and greet all of those Zealots. Poor Zealots getting taken down in a moment, as the Corruptor, I do not believe can... Oh, it can actually catch up to the Warp Prism. If it can go around, it can actually shoot down the Warp Prism, as the Warp Prism might actually be running in the, or flying in the wrong direction. Alright, Warp Prism off here. May try to warp in some Zealots. We can see some Photon Cannons doing some quick engagement here. The Roaches, recalling into a defensive posture to save the base, and all these Roaches will get taken down. Meanwhile, a whole bunch of changelings there. Sorry, I swapped from the action. Void Rays, Archon still battling it out. The Mothership Core moving the entire army back to this 9 or 3 o'clock location once again to play defensively. And we are seeing some really, really strong play from San. Meanwhile, Sen is going for a Nidus network. San is going for triple Stargate for a total of, I believe, 4 Stargates. 4 Stargates is going to be a massive number of air. Yes, is that... no, it is just 4 Stargates. Alright, 4 Stargates. That is going to be a lot of Void Rays, a lot of Tempest, as the Zerglings are still all getting cleaned up. Level 1 air weapons upgrades now coming in. Very, very rare now to see that Cybernetics core spinning ever since after that Warp Gate tech, as it is researching that level 1 weapons upgrade, giving those Tempest an amazing, amazing amount of firepower from a very, very far range. However, Nidus Network was able to pop up off over here. It looks as though all the Queens and the Ultralists are able to engage, and now Sen is just pushing inside the main. Void Rays are coming in to engage, and oh, there is the back off once again. All the units will no. This poor Ultralist not going to be able to make it back inside, as we are looking perhaps for another Nidus network to pop up somewhere else. There is a lot of creep tumors though, so with these creep tumors, yes, he can get sight here. The Zealot's going to quickly change this though, as the Zealots will challenge that, get it all taken down. Zergling's trying to put pressure here at the 3, but the Mothership Core, Photon Cannons, Photon Overcharge is more than enough. Alright, creep tumors now just getting challenged here. 1 creep tumor is all that is left. Probes looking to jump back inside, trying to get a bit more army supply. 133 versus 115. Sen is actually behind in terms of his army, but he does have a larger bank, meaning that he can replace his units much more quickly. All right, a whole bunch of corruptors have just been trained. We can see level 2 air upgrades now coming in. Armor upgrades not yet being researched. I don't know why. Sen is wasting some valuable time as the Archon, Tempest, Zealot, Void Ray, Immortal army is Colossus army. Looks like it could just A-move into most Zerg units. Let's take a look. Hallucinated Phoenixes are off over here. Zealots making sure that this 4th base or 5th base is not taken. And this is bad news for Sen. Sen needs to get up on these bases and challenge it. You can see that the Broodlords with those Broodlings able to take down all of those units in just an instant there, as both sides are still doing a bit of fighting. Phoenixes, hallucinated, not doing anything at all. Tempest, 85 damage against Massive, will be able to 3-shot any Broodlord, or 2-shot any Broodlord that's already taken a little bit of damage from a very far distance. Oh, what was that? An Immortal, I believe, just got taken down. There, you can see that poor Zealot. Oh, is he purposely freeing up supply to get air? I don't know what San's doing, but he actually took down a couple of his own Immortals, I believe, and that just doesn't make sense. He's getting rid of the Immortals for Void Rays, but Immortals are incredibly useful against Ultralists. The problem is going to be the number of Queens, as we now see that the Broodlords and Broodlings are now challenging. A couple Colossus could get taken down. There it goes. Tempest get one rally back and taking down more damage as well, but that was a heavy hit, as we are now getting 2 more Colossus to replace the one that was destroyed. Queens are in position. All right, what is this? This could turn into a really bad engagement. There's a couple of transfusions. Broodlords are not engaging. Tempest completely destroyed. You can see how much damage is being dealt there. Mothership Core trying to defend the 3 o'clock location, as a huge number of Psy Storms and transfusions do go down. San looks like he is going to be taking this game here, and San is just absolutely rolling after a couple of key engagements. Those Void Rays are hugely effective against everything we see in the air now, and San currently sitting at a 200 supply army compared to Sen's 134. This is not looking good. A tech switch to Mutalisk not going to be enough, as San takes game 4 and evens up the series at 2 games apiece. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed Game 4. Please stay tuned for Game 5.